Thank you very much for having us on. My name is Lindsey. I'm with MT4Professional and Resilient Traders. I'm here on the Synergy Traders event to talk to you about using the MT4Professional platform for better time management. The idea behind this is to help you to have more time to focus on the things that really matter so that you're not wasting time. And that's the idea behind it. I want to make sure that everyone knows that we are here for educational purposes only, that Resilient Traders MT4Professional is not a registered trading advisor. We cannot give you any buy-sell decisions, and we can't tell you how to trade. But what we can do is train and educate you on proper use of the platform and how to build a trading plan that is both consistently profitable and successful. Trading with futures, stocks, forex options, cryptocurrencies has a large potential for reward. You have the opportunity to make a lot of money, but there's also a large potential for risk, and you can lose a lot of money. So you need to be aware of the risks involved and be willing to accept them in order to trade or invest in any of these markets. Please don't trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so make sure that you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets. And never, ever trade in a live account until you have first proven you can consistently and profitably trade your simulated account. And only then will you start to be able to attack the mind game, the mental concept of the game, which I believe is where 90% of the successful trades are. So let's get moving on. Again, I'm Lindsey. I'm your trade coach and operations director at MT4Professional. Claudio Cardinal is joining us in the audience today as our product development director and all things technology guru. We are here to help you to learn how to use the MT4Professional platform. But what we're going to talk about today is how to better manage your time using a platform that is designed to help you be efficient. We're going to go through what a market scanner is and what it's all about, what MT4Professional is all about. And of course, I will go through a live demonstration to show you the tool, to show you how it's used and how we can apply that to our trading. Save a little time for a very special offer if you'd like to get started with MT4Professional. And of course, there will be questions and answers throughout the presentation today. So make sure that you ask away. So time management using MT4Professional. You are probably painfully aware already of the different methods and concepts involved in time management, preparing for your day, i.e. eat well, exercise, get your mind in the right order, keep yourself well hydrated. Next is the things that set priorities, make sure that you have everything lined up and you're not working on and doing things that are not going to produce the outcome that you want. So set your priorities so that you're working on the things that matter the most and that you're spending your time on things which are a priority. Focus on the outcome. You set a goal and you focus on where it is you're going. You don't want to have tangents coming along and making you go to the left, to the right when you're trying to go straight. So avoid distractions. Distractions will always come your way. If you're sitting in front of your trade and you're waiting for the setup, you sometimes can get really bored. And believe me, it happens. You can get distracted by, look, oh, this chart over here is moving. You can move away and then all of a sudden your trade comes along and you miss it. Focus, avoid those types of distractions. These are common concepts about that. Use a planning tool. There are lots of apps and software available that help you to organize yourself and to plan out your day and to plan out your functions that you're working on. So find one that you like or that you're already used to and start using those. And I'm just going over these as general concepts. I won't be going into each of these in detail, but I'm just laying it all out for you. Get organized. Use a day planner. So get all your ducks in a row. Set up a trading plan. Probably one of the most important things any trader could ever do is have a written trading plan that they follow that helps them to stay focused on their goal, to have their priorities set, even tells them how to prepare for their day, even through meditation or prayer or things that help you to get into the right zone, the most productive zone for trading. And then use a scanner. A scanner is probably one of the most valuable tools you can have on a platform that will automatically go through and do the work for you. Unless you have like an auto trader or something that exactly follows your strategy, you still have to babysit it every now and then because auto traders sometimes fail, they get glitchy. You have to always be there to babysit them. So a scanner, however, is something that will always minimize the time you spend looking for opportunities and will alert you to the concept and the fact that you have a trade ready. So they're designed to be like an EA, use specific rules and criteria that you've established and set for the alert you will be receiving. So what is a market scanner? What is MT4Professional, you might ask? Well, if you consider on MT4 all the different symbols and timeframes that you have access to. On MT4, there are 54 X pairs, 20 CFDs, 9 timeframes. Altogether, that's 630 different combinations of pairs that you can go and look through on different timeframes to see if there's a trade setup. So do you really think that you're able to do this manually? How often do you miss opportunities because you're looking at one and then something else is happening over there and you don't even know about it? Well, today, trading with different instruments is crucial to make trading profitable. Well, in fact, it's called correlation. Trading uncorrelated instruments is a way to remove uncertainty in the instruments while you diversify your portfolio at the same time. The idea is to have a basket full of instruments that you have access to that you want to have trade opportunities presented to you. Because you all know that if you just trade one instrument, it's not going to be trending all the time. It will always be going into periods of up thrust and consolidation and down thrust and so forth. And so you know there's going to be these slow down times. Well, in the world of trading, especially in Forex, cryptocurrencies and so forth, there are always an opportunity available for you, either up or down. So you need to have something that looks for these types of opportunities without wasting your time and efforts in doing it. The perfect solution is a market scanner. Market scanner is an automatic tool that allows you to scan the entire market situation at a glance for any symbol or any time frame with your own custom rules based on standard or custom indicators that you've already have. So it's not a signal provider per se, but it's a tool that allows you to analyze your strategies just the way you want to using any indicator that you have at your disposal. And it gives it in a timely manner. So as an example, I put together a list of symbols and a spreadsheet type layout where if I had a scanner, I would want or desire to see something like this. For every symbol or for every time frame that I'm looking at, I would like to see an alert that tells me whether this is bullish or bearish. Bullish or bearish. So bullish is green, bearish is red, yellow is neutral. Congestion, i.e. not moving. So if I'm using, say, for example, my strategy is a moving average crossover, 2 moving averages, very popular, very common. The image on the right shows that if I have a bullish cross, which is green, or a bearish cross, which is red, for a 15 or 30 period moving average, then I would get the corresponding output. So a scanner should be able to do that for me. If I get the cross, it should read the cross, color the cell, and then alert me to the fact that I have the euro US dollar as a bullish pair for not only the 15, but for the 30-minute time frame. Or if I see that the euro Swiss is neutral or in congestion on a longer time frame downtrend, this might be an excellent opportunity for me to get into a continuation of a downtrend or possibly the start of a reversal. And I will be able to see that when I look into it. So that's the idea behind a scanner. A scanner is something that we can, at a glance, go through many different instruments and identify potential trade opportunities. So a market scanner does the work for you so you can focus on the more important things, like managing a trade or getting your mind in place where it belongs. So Once set up, the market scanner searches all the conditions based upon your rules, based upon your strategy. It's custom. So it should alert you to when these conditions are met and is favorable for an entry or an exit. Here's another example. If you're a price action kind of person, you're using pure price related to an exponential moving average. So I want to see when price is greater than the EMA, say 15-period EMA, I want it to be green or bullish. When price is below or less than the 15-period EMA, I want to see a red or bearish setup. So if I'm looking at different time frames, then for whatever instrument I'm using, whether it's Forex, futures, commodities, cryptocurrencies, I need to search for and scan for an opportunity which presents me with a good entry. So the dollar Canadian was triggered on 1, 5, and 15. All time frames had aligned bullish. I would do well if I bought into that. Likewise, the S&P, the NASDAQ were all bearish. I would be doing well if I were on the sell side on those markets. And that's the idea. When you see these starting to turn, like this one right here, this has a red 5-minute, but you see the 1 minute has gone green. Well, I know that the next time this changes, I will be back in line with the longer term trend, which means I'm coming out of a correction cycle, going back into a longer term trend. And those are the explosive moves. Those are the ones that get you back into the trade because they start taking off once they've consolidated, and you always get the biggest bang for your buck. So that's the idea behind that. So whether you're trading with the cryptos, the commodities, the index futures, or Forex pairs, you have something that's looking for you to find these trade setups. That's the idea behind it. So what about time frames? I mentioned multiple time frames, and you kind of wonder why I'm looking at that. But did you know that if you trade using multiple time frames, you have a higher probability of a profitable trade? It's due to correlation. It's just one of the advantages of using multiple time frame analysis in your trading. So by checking multiple timeframes before you initiate your trade, you're going to be trading in harmony with the longer time frame trend. For example, if you see these 3 timeframes over here, you see the longer time frame has a broad stroke envelope. The faster time frame you go, the choppier or noisier the envelope becomes. So if you're trading on 15, 5, or even a 1 minute, then you're going to be in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out and out all the time, while the 4 hours is still just trending long, trending long, trending long. So if you're trading in the direction of a longer term trend, you have a higher probability that you're going to be making a profitable trade, and you're going to be entering with lower risk because the trend is going to be moving in the favor of your trade. So take long trades in this favor. Avoid the corrections, avoid all the corrections. Then when the correction comes in, then you can take the short trades and only take them to your fixed profit target. And then when it goes back into the longer term trend, then go back to your longer term price target. So instead of taking 3 or 5 to 1 reward risk ratios, you'll be looking at taking only 1 or 2 reward risk ratios on the corrective direction. So it's a smarter way to trade, and it gives you much lower risk and a higher probability the outcome will be in your favor. So if we had a market scanner that could search not only for these setups based upon our rules, but verified with multiple time frame analysis, that would be an extremely valuable tool. Not only does it save us time, but it helps us to see the trade opportunities very quickly and the highest opportunity probability trades to exist. Because as traders, we know that there are only 2 things that we're looking to do, and making money is not one of them. We are trading probabilities and we are managing risk. Those are the 2 things that you need to be focused on as a trader if you want to be successful. The money will just come if you do that well. If you manage the trade, if you trade on the probability side of probabilities and manage your trades, you are going to be successful. It's all about the trade. So focus on that. So that's the idea behind it. So here's an example using multiple time frames. If I had a scanner that showed me the setup, then you can see here is a 4-hour daily and weekly Euro US dollar. And with the help of hindsight, of course, you can see there is an alignment that occurred at this location here. So you can see right at this point, I'm using the price action cross over a exponential moving average. I'm also looking at a moving average convergence divergence indicator, the MACD signal line. Here, the histogram has crossed over our signal line, giving us a bullish in trade indication. Here we have a cross above the EMA, which is a bullish signal. And we have a rising slope on our relative strength. We have relative strength breaking out above 30 and rising. Those are all three bullish conditions that I'm looking to take as a trade. Now, if that were my only criteria, then you can see very quickly that if that occurred, let's say back here, when I had a bullish cross and I have a crossover and I have a bullish condition, what would happen if I took the trade here? I would probably be held hostage, if not stopped out, as the trade progressed in this really long period of consolidation. But if you're trading with the longer term trend, then the daily will show you that this was in a marked downtrend, that you never crossed above the longer term EMA. The same with your weekly chart. You did get a bullish cross here on the weekly MACD, but you did not get relative strength. So the idea behind this is to get correlation between those. So if you look at the alignment here, you check to make sure that you have a bullish MACD and bullish relative strength, and at least a bullish relative strength on your longer term trend. Then it's going to minimize these entry mistakes and maximize the ability to get in when the market timing is correct. Well, this is about 300 pips of trade result on this trade. So that's a very, very good outcome if you're trading these things. And it's about $3,000 if you're looking at that type of a setup. So it's very crucial for you as a trader to have these types of trade setups and tools at your disposal. So by using multiple time frames, you trade in harmony with the market. You have lower risk trade opportunities, you have higher probability of trades, and that's a powerful combination for any trader, showing you the importance of using multiple time frame technical analysis in your trading. A market scanner using this type of analysis would be extremely valuable and because it does it for you automatically. The only problem that we ran into on these platforms, MT4 or MT5, was that as professional traders, we could not find a scanner that did this type of work for us. What we did find was either too complex to configure, which meant you had to be a programmer, to use it. They were unstable, or is a single tool that was not well integrated with the system, or they were incompatible with a lot of things. These are time killers. Those things are just things you don't want to waste your time doing those kinds of things. You want to have a tool that's not only easy to set up and use, but works with whatever strategy that you have to present. So our solution was to develop MT4Professional. Right now, it's the #1 market scanner on both MT4 and MT5. It allows you to instantly scan the entire market for setups that match your unique rules and criteria. So when you find a good setup, it even allows you to enhance with your trades with technical analysis using multiple time frames, which really is not easy to do on MT4 or MT5, even if you look at it, and I'll show you exactly how that is. So I say stay tuned for more to come, because right now we're going to go right into a live demonstration to show you the differences between regular MT4 and MT4Professional. So let me launch my platform. First thing I want you to notice is the physical size of my window. Notice that it's a little bit smaller, that I have clipping on the windows that I have in the background. So if I wanted to change the size of these windows, then there are two things I could do. One, I can resize the windows physically by dragging them, or two, I could go up under a window and retile them. But notice these are both different sized windows. So if I tried to retile it, it's going to make them both the same size. So I've got a problem here. I want to be able to resize it to get maximum fill, but at the same time, it just makes it very cumbersome. So I have to maximize my screen, move these in, and then minimize my screen, and then move it back out again so that I have 100% fill on my real estate here. But if I go back out and I want to make it screen larger, well, I'm going to have to do the same thing again. So it's kind of cumbersome. It's not easy to use, and it doesn't do that for you automatically. The second thing is, if I want to change the symbol on this chart, then I have to drag and drop the symbol on the right over on top of the chart in order to get it to change. Now, that's okay if you just have one chart, but say, for example, that you have multiple charts. Here I've got 3 charts, which again, don't have the correct size, and you can see the side window is even a little bit larger, so that just makes things really cumbersome. I have to drag and drop this same symbol across all 3 charts. They don't all automatically line up themselves. So that's a problem as well. Now, the third thing I kind of ran into was that if I wanted to do multiple time frame analysis, this is a 15-minute, that's a 30, and that's an hourly. I have to right-click, a middle mouse click on the chart to get my cursor, but notice the cursor is only live on whatever chart I'm on. So I have to physically look down at the bottom panel, right down here, to see the date and the time of when the alignment occurred, right there. And then I have to memorize that 26 at 9:45. Then I got to go over to this chart, right click it. I look at 9:45, right about in there. There was the alignment at that point. Did it match? Yeah, that one matched. And then I have to go over to this one. So very quickly, you can see that this is not it's not really advantageous for me to use multiple time frames unless I'm already looking at that. I can see across the board, but I can't physically measure it or identify it. So let me launch MT4Professional. MT4Professional is a platform add-on to the MT4 or MT5 platform. It's set up as a panel or profile. And so once you launch it, then you go in and pull it into the platform to set it up. So oh, it's not launching. Of course, during today's presentation, it has to do this, doesn't it? I don't have any problems with it. Let me try it again. It looks like my MT4 is what's not responding. I don't know why. Okay, so there it goes, finally. Okay. All right, so if I'm looking for a specific setup, and I'll load this one. This is a exponential moving average, 15 period, and price action interacting with it. First thing I want you to see is that the windows themselves are on 3 different sizes. You got a large window and you got 2 other smaller windows that are aligned. Looks like I'm still having some issues with my platform here. I might need to reboot it. Let me go ahead and do that real quick so I can go on with the demonstration, because I don't want to keep intermittently going through there. Okay, now let me relaunch it. All right, let me go back to my platform. That was much better. It just must have glitched out somehow, but we're back up. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Let me get back up to full screen mode here. Notice when I go to full screen that the platform automatically resizes the size of the charts so that I have full use of my real estate. And then that's a really nice feature to have because anytime I make any changes to my screen size, I want it to take advantage of that. Second, I want you to notice the crosshairs. Look at the blue crosshair that's on the screen. You can see that when I move it to a specific location, not only do I have time, but I have price alignment on all three charts. So I can see at a glance right here where the alignment occurs on all three charts to see whether I've gotten to a point of trade execution or not. So that's an extremely valuable tool to have. And the third point is that the symbol list that I have over here on the left, I can click on any one symbol one time and it automatically changes the symbols on all three charts, giving me at a glance the perfect opportunity. So when I see a close below my moving average, and I can see the second time frame and the third time frame have aligned with that, that gives me the perfect opportunity for a trade entry. Trigger bar, this then becomes my entry bar. Entry bar on that gives me the potential for about 234 ticks on that trade, which is an excellent move and well worth the time spent on setting the trade up. So that's the idea behind the scanner. The scanner shows you the opportunity, it gives you the setup, and then it shows you the trade entry point. It alerts you to these facts through the configuration. So notice all the charts look the same. That's because under our configuration, you have the ability to set up your chart view just the way that you like it. So I have 1 minute, 5, and 15-minute time frames set up here. I also have a specific template that shows exactly what each of these will look like. Now I can set that template to be any template that I have access to on my platform. So any of the templates that I've already configured, I can use any of those to set the look and the feel of all of my charts. And they don't have to be the same. Through pull down menus, if I have more than one, then I can select 1, 2, or even 3 different templates to change my charts to. I can add different chart windows and move them around any way that I like. But once they're in the way that I like it, then they always come back up this exact same way, regardless of how I use it. So it's a really nice tool in that perspective. All right, the scanner is over here doing its thing. It's scanning away using the criteria and the rules that I give it to look for when price is interacting with the 15-period exponential moving average. That's what that's the idea behind it. So when you set the configuration up, you give it the rules that you need in order for it to change colors. I call those a color rule. A color rule is a simple set of rules which have operations based upon comparing items. So we're looking at price, pure price action. We want to see the close of price. It has to be greater than or equal to a 15-period exponential moving average. That's the idea. If that condition is true, I want my cell color to be green. And that's the idea behind this, is that I can set it to be any color I like through a simple pull-down menu. Now, these comparing items give me access to those data. So if I have more than one comparing item, and in this case, I only have 2, it'll show up on the pull-down menu. But if I need to see, for example, price action, price, and I want to see the open, high, low, close, then I can choose any of those that I wanted to compare. Or say that I wanted to use a different moving average, then I can use a moving average and set its period to a different time frame. I could use an envelope indicator. I could use the Ichimoku. I could use a synthetic parabolic stop and reverse idea. So any indicator that you have access to that you can add and use that within the system. Say you write your own indicators or you have a custom indicator, then you can always pick from your computer any indicator that you have the software for, and then use that in the code in order to set up your rules. So any of these can be set up and used in any order that you like to do the comparison. I can look at not only price with a moving average, I can look at two different moving averages, or I can look at the MACD relative to the signal line. So there are a lot of different ways that you can set this up. So the way the logic works is that on the left side, you see condition set 1. It evaluates this condition first. If that's true, it'll turn it green. Or means that if this isn't true, then it's going to evaluate this condition. So if the price is below the 15 period, it will be green. Otherwise, it's going to evaluate this condition, closes less than the 15. Well, there isn't anything else left. So this would be set to red. So it'll be green or red. Pretty simple, isn't it? Rob has a question out there about, do I still believe moving average crosses over trading systems work? Can you show any trading performance for a system? Our system, this is not a trading performance system. This is a platform. That would be the same as saying, what's the trading performance of NinjaTrader or TradeStation? What's the trading performance of MetaTrader 4? You can't do that with a platform. You put your own rules in here. I use moving averages here as an example for you. I'm using pure price action crossing as an example. So you can use whatever rule base that you want to use, Rob, and you can keep your own performance record that way. That way you're not worried. You don't have to worry about that. So when this criteria is met for the 1 minute, then on my chart, the 1 minute cell will be colored the color I expected it to. And very easily, I can set up a 5 minute. I set up a 15 minute. I can even set up a longer time frame chart here because it's this simple. And all I have to do is turn my rule base on, boom. And now I have an hourly chart set up. So I can set up any access to any time frame that I want very easily, very quickly, using the rules that I have established. And I'm also, I can access any symbol that I have access to. Every symbol that your broker provides you, whether they are index futures, equities, cryptocurrencies, Forex, you have access to those. You can use them with MT4 Professional. You're not limited in any way. I've only selected a few here to pull in as my example set for our presentation today. All right. And last but not least, there are several things that you can do with the system. One is you can receive an alert when the conditions are met. You can get real-time notifications by clicking this box right here, and it will send us, it will enable this platform to start sending you emails, to give you pop-ups on the screen and sound alerts. It will also give you messages through your SMS device, your cell phone. So if you set that up and verify your phone number, then you will get access to the SMS, direct SMS messages, as well as the live and mobile versions. Notice that there is a share icon right here. So if you have a configuration that you've just set up, like the charts and the scanner, you put all your rules in, you have all your symbols loaded in, and it's ready to go, and you have a trade team that you're working with, you can share your configuration with your trade team because MT4 Professional is fully cloud-based. So you can share your configurations with everybody, keeping everybody on the same page at the same time, and we'll be working on that. Okay, so let's look at something a little bit more complex. Here's one. Loading this one up, you can see that I've got multiple setups and indications. Here I've got price action with a moving average. Here I've got a MACD crossover using the histogram and signal line. I also have relative strength showing me either areas of extreme oversold or extreme overbought, and I can measure the slope of that trend line as well. So The idea behind this is to see if you can come up with a trade strategy that is consistently profitable when back tested. Now, not all trade strategies are always profitable, but you want to find ones which are at least the majority of the time, at least 68 to 70% profitable over time. You want to be able to trade those as strategies. So the idea is when you get a cross and a bullish signal and a positive trend coming from an oversold condition, you want to be buying, and you want to see that that signal is a long and a strong signal. So when you do get one that's like that, then you can see the opportunity of almost 300 pip trades are there ready to take advantage of. So using the system as it's designed, then it can alert you to the fact when these things are aligned and set up and ready to go. And you can share them. So say, for example, now that you don't want to stay at your computer, since these are longer term charts, you don't want to have to sit here on your computer all the time waiting for these. Allow MT4Professional to alert you when it's ready. So all you have to do is pull up your mobile browser or get your cell phone out, get your tablet device, navigate to the MT4Professional's members area. Now, not only can you go through all the onboarding processes in the members area, you can download all of the software for both MT4 and MT5 directly from the members area, but you can also get access to the documentation in the help center from here as well. Notice there's a real-time scanner button here. If you click on the real-time scanner button, then you'll see a list pop up of all of the applications you have running. If you have more than one application running, then you can choose which one you want to look at. So say you have 3 or 4 different computers set up for your trade team and you want to see which ones you're looking at, you can choose any one of those that you have access to. I'll select the one that's currently right here, and you can see that the list of my scanner automatically appears. Notice it's the exact same replica of the one that's here, and it's being updated live in real time. So I'm not at my desk anymore. I'm actually out at a restaurant having lunch, and I wanted to check back in to see if the trade setup was there, because I just recently got an alert on my system that said my trade setup has come in and I need to check the scanner to see if that's true. So I click on that. I come to my scanner panel. I look to see if the pound dollar is actually coming into play, and notice that it changed the symbol on all of my desktop platforms, took a picture and showed me of this trade setup. So is this really a good trade opportunity where I'm setting up bullish, but now I'm starting to double top, I'm coming into overhead resistance? Is this a good place for a potential reversal? Because the longer term trend is down. So is this actually rolling over, or are we starting to get into another small correction before it pushes back up into a continuation? That's what I want to see. I want to be able to see at any point with a single click if the opportunity is there and if it's ready to trade. And if it is, then all I have to do is pull up my broker on my phone, execute the trade, and I don't have to run back to my office or to my desk to do that. I ought to have access to all of it right here on my mobile device. And that's the beauty of it. Any of these photographs or sessions that you take, you have full access to in the snapshots section of the members area. You can tag any one of them. You can look at the specific ones. You can set them to be public or private. And then with the settings, you can also share them. So if you have access to them and you make them public, then you have a link that you can share, and you can access any of your social media with that access. So it's a really great system that works really well together, and you have full access to it. It's not limiting you in any way, shape, or form. So you're asking if there's custom configurations that are available. I want to show you some custom setups that we've got here. One such setup is okay, there we go. So I'm looking at the software I've developed. It's called Hawkeye software. The trend momentum, volume, longer term time frames tell me when trade setups are available, and I'm scanning for these type of opportunities. Now, you can notice that under each of these time frames, I have multiple signals that are coming at the same time. I have 3 that are coming on my 5-minute, 2 that are coming on the 15, and only 1 that's coming on the 30. Though the idea behind this is I'm looking for specific different things on different time frames. So let me look at the configuration just to show you how easy it is to set up complicated custom indicators on the system. So using the rule-based editor, you can pull down the menu and see that I have 3 different strategies running at the same time. First one runs on a trend strategy, the second one is a volume, and the third is a heat map. And I have to have all 3 of these signaling in order for me to take a trade. So all I'd have to do is align those setups. That's only for the 5-minute. For the 15-minute, I'm only looking at 2. I'm only looking at the volume and the heat map because the trend is really not that important to me. I need to see what's underlying trend is based on. And the longer time frame, I'm only looking at volume because everyone knows that volume is the only leading indicator that's out there. It shows you the proper direction and what the market's doing. It's the underbelly, it's the heartbeat, it's the blood flow through the market. So if you got a true picture of volume, then you've got a real understanding of what it is you're doing. So longer term, I'm always going to be looking at volume on the 30-minute. I'm looking at volume on the 15. I'm looking at volume on the 5. So I need to see that they're all set up there. Okay, so make sure I've got that set up. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so that's the idea behind this. So if I were to edit or show you the rules behind that, it's very simple. I look at the indicator. I check to see if that indicator is on or not. It toggles on if it is green. Now, there are many different indicators that are there, but the trend indicator, the first output of that indicator triggers when it's a bullish trend. The second output triggers when it's a bearish trend. And the third output triggers when it is congestion or a neutral trend. And I'll show you what I mean by outputs, output 1, output 2, and output 3. So let me get out of this and show you really quickly what I mean by these outputs. If I pull up my data window over here on the left and then scroll over the window, you can see at this point that I have the Hawkeye trend long, Hawkeye trend short, and Hawkeye trend neutral. These are the 3 outputs of the Hawkeye trend indicator that show me that. So on the first one that I clicked on right here, you see that? That first one I clicked on showed that the trend long is on. The other 2 are off. And so all I'm looking for is if this is greater than 0, I know it's triggered and I know that I'm in a long trend. If this one goes into a red trend, then you'll see that at this point here, you can see that it is now a red trend. So short is on, long is off, neutral is off. And if I went over one of the white ones, then you'll see that it does the same thing. So that's what the software is scanning for. It looks at the output of the indicator and lets you know when these occur. So if you have any indicator that provides you an output that you have access to, you can put it into the scanner. It'll scan for that trigger. If it's an arrow or if it's a top hat, if it's a pivot point, it doesn't matter what it is. Any type of reversal signal that you might be getting, if it can give you a signal from the indicator itself, then it will output that to the scanner and the scanner will look for it and let you know that it's there. It's a powerful system. It's very, very easy to use, to set up and configure, and it even gives you the ability to share it with all of your friends. So let me go ahead and go back to my presentation now. I want to make you a very special offer. If you haven't already heard of or take access to the MT4 Professional system, you get full featured MT4 Professional on both MT4 or MT5. You get exclusive access to the Skype users community. You get unlimited configurations and storage, unlimited emails, unlimited push notifications. You get up to 100 SMS notifications every month. This is not the price that you're going to pay, obviously. This is what we see as a value for the software. We've set it up for a limited time at $194 per month, but because you're part of the Synergy Traders event today, we've knocked that off 50%, $97 per month, and we're throwing in a 14-day free trial, no money out of your pocket. You get to use the full-fledged software for 14 days, absolutely free. You can cancel at any time and still get full access to the full 14 days. But of course, if you cancel, you lose the special. But if you click on the link that Claudio had posted for you, then you'll get access to the trial. Okay, MT4Professional.com/trial. And you also get the full 14 days to try the full software, the Skype community, all the configurations. And there are 14 different pre-configured presets that I showed you. So the idea behind that is to see how we have set up these configurations for you, and you can even use them. Several of our clients have taken just some of our pre-configured presets and actually started making some real money from those configurations straight off the bat, even before they started their subscription. So it's a good opportunity. So I take advantage of it while you can. And if during the presentation or if any other time you have a question, you can always contact us at support@MT4Professional.com. We're just a simple email away. We'll get back to you. We'll set up a Zoom meeting with you where we do one-on-one onboarding to help you get going and to get you back up in speed. So I think that about does it. So if you have any questions, this is the best time to do that. I'll get the platform back up and set it up so that you can still see the link and this at the same time. So let me move that up, and oh, look at that, it just moves. Everything resizes so perfectly. I love that. Are there any questions? Anything I can answer for you with regards to how much time you can save by a scanner, scanning and looking for an opportunity that sets up perfectly? That looks good. That one looks even better in the pound. I got a resumption of the trend. Got first, second, third time frames. This is bullish. This one's bullish. This one has not yet crossed. So we're looking for that to confirm that. But so far, it looks good. 2 out of 3 time frames look good. Am I using it primarily for Forex? Oh, you can use it for any security that you like. These examples are just showing that. But if you noticed earlier, then here I've got an example showing not only Forex, but here they're using the futures. This is the S&P 500, NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell. Here I'm looking at West Texas crude oil. I'm looking at gold. Here I'm looking at Bitcoin. Here's Ethereum. So it's not limited. If you have access to equities, which my brokerage account does not, but you have a brokerage account that gives you access to equities, then you can trade those equities as well. There's no limit to what it can scan for. It's all up to your broker, whether they provide the symbol. If they provide the instrument and the symbol, then you can scan for it and trade it. Not a lot of scanners give you full technical scanning abilities. There are some higher end platforms that give you full technical scanning abilities. A lot of the scanners just give you fundamental information that you scan on, but they don't give you the ability to scan for technical information, especially things which integrate multiple time frames or that use your own rules. So this is the perfect way to do that, to set it up. Yeah, it looks like gold. It was a really great example. Here on the 15-minute, you can see the 15-minute had a nice long trend. The on 5 minute, I meant 15 minute, it was already in a long trend. This is a long trend. Here it went into a consolidation checkpoint, came back up, and then triggered another long at this point. So this gave you the opportunity to get in long right there again, just from the onset of that. So here it's 30 gold ticks, 30 gold tick points, just from waiting for the correction and the resumption of the existing trend. So it's a really nice system. And of course, when that aligned, or when you saw the gold align, then you would have gotten an email or a trigger signal on the system to let you know that. And did I mention that it was all cloud-based? Well, that means that any of these configurations that you've set up are saved and backed up in the cloud. So you don't have to worry about ever losing your data. Or if you're going on vacation, you're traveling somewhere, you don't have your computer with you, you can always use your brother's computer, download the platform to the computer, and then you'll automatically have all of your configurations set up at your disposal. No lost data. If your hard drive crashes on you and you don't have a backup, don't worry about it. All of your configurations are backed up in the cloud, already provided by MT4Professional. So if you haven't already done it, click the link MT4Professional.com/trial to get started on your trial today to see if MT4Professional is exactly what you've been looking for to help you save time and to manage your trades more effectively, and to try to find the setups that you keep missing all the time. So stop missing those trades and get started on the right path with the right platform. MT4Professional.com/trial. If you do have a question, then you can always contact us at support@MT4Professional.com. That's support@MT4Professional.com. There aren't any more questions. I can sit here for 5 more minutes with any questions that you might have or any setups that you might want me to look for, or we can go ahead and be done and turn it back over to David if he's ready.